Fishy, fishy, fishy! What's going on, fishy friends? So, here we are, taking a quick look at the planted 55-gallon. I just noticed earlier that my anubias over here is flowering, and the flower is pearling. There's a little tiny oxygen bubble that's being created by this anubias plant. Pretty interesting. I'm not sure why the flower seems to photosynthesize more, I guess, than the rest of the plant itself. It must react a little better with the light. It is a little closer to the light than the rest of the plant. You can tell it's a little taller. It's still a decent distance from the light, and it's also being shaded by all this floating riccia. I no longer aim to see my plants pearl. A lot of people, when they first start injecting CO2 and keeping planted tanks, think it's almost a badge of honor to see their plants pearling. People often mistake it also for something called false pearling, especially after doing a water change. If you see many different areas of your tank covered in little bubbles, even if it seems to be concentrated on the plants, chances are that's not pearling. Also, if you see a steady stream of little tiny bubbles, especially out of what looks like a point of damage on a leaf, that's also not pearling. It is gases being released by the plant, and or an accumulation of gases that are in the water when you do your water change that collect on all the different surfaces in the tank. What pearling really is it's an indication that you have enough oxygen in your water. People often mistake it to assume it means that there's enough carbon dioxide. Oh, there it goes. But what it is, it's the oxygen being produced by the plant, and there's so much oxygen in the water already that it is completely saturated. You know, the oxygen saturation level in the water is at 100%, meaning that the water can't possibly absorb any more oxygen, and therefore you actually see the bubble of it, and it gets released at the surface instead of getting absorbed into the water column, so to say. So if you watch slowly but surely, you can actually see this thing producing oxygen and creating a little bubble there. I've had this particular anubias plant for, geez, quite a long time. It's been in a couple of different tanks. It's actually attached. Well, it might no longer be attached. It used to be attached to this piece of driftwood. I might have actually removed it from the driftwood. You can see the rhizome and how big that rhizome is in there, if I can get past the glare. I might have removed it from the driftwood and just kind of let it sort of hang out in the tank here. It's done very well. You can see the root system in the water. And it has found its way down into the substrate, if you can look past some of the other plants and all the glare here. But I've had this particular plant probably started out as 2 or 3 leaves. Probably got it at one of my local fish stores. Some of these bottom leaves don't look so good. They're getting covered in algae and stuff like that. I don't even remember which particular species of anubias this is. One of the more common ones. Nothing very spectacular about the plant, but it's beautiful. A lot of people knock some of these easy plants, like, you know, things like anubias and Amazon swords. But there's absolutely nothing wrong with using them. They're relatively easy to deal with. They look great in a tank, and you almost can't go wrong. The only thing you got to worry about is when you're planting them, you don't bury the rhizome. That big, stalky trunk, almost, where all the different shoots and all the leaves come off of, that's called the rhizome. That needs to stay up in the water and out of any kind of substrate. Doesn't matter if it's sand or dirt or gravel or whatever it might be. You keep that rhizome exposed, otherwise it rots away, it melts, and it kills the plant. I don't know if we'll see one more bubble release off the plant right now. It looks like it's about to. It's kind of dancing there. Almost like watching paint dry. Thrilling, I know. Especially when you consider all the algae on the glass right there, too. Come on, release. Any second now. Focus. No, we're not going to focus and we're not going to release. Anyway, guys, that's it for now. Just thought it was a quick little shot showing that. I thought that was pretty cool. Comment, rate, subscribe, follow Rich's Fishes on Instagram. Let me know what you guys think, and I'll talk to you guys later.